Hi, I'm Eben from Grinding Gear Games. Path of Exile 2, the last of the Druids, is just around the corner, and you might be wondering, what is the Druid actually capable of at Endgame? Well, today we've created a handful of builds that might help you out in the Fresh League, or inspire you to come up with something even crazier. This shaman uses the advancing storm support and ground debuffs to make his tornadoes into whirlwinds of elemental destruction. Tornado sucks up any elemental ground surface it encounters, empowering the tornado with those effects and extra damage. To create these surfaces, the ferocious wolf form can easily freeze enemies, which allows us to create chilled ground with this support. We've also got a curse setup that creates burning ground, and unique boots that drop shocked ground. We've also made use of some of the more powerful effects from the Shaman's Wisdom of the Magi node. The Idol of Maxarius increases our storm limit for maximum ruckus. If tornadoes aren't your thing, maybe this fire-breathing Wyvern can bring the heat you're after. Normally, the Wyvern's Flame Breath would be used as an ultimate type ability, but naturally, you might want to see how much further you can take it. Can we turn this into a clearing skill? Flame Breath is a skill that burns rage, so if we get enough of it, we can keep aloft out of pure spite. To help us generate this rage, we are making use of the new buff gem, Eternal Rage. This generates 5 rage per second. We're also using the keystone Primal Hunger, that regenerates 1 rage per second per 4 rage we've spent recently, as well as giving us 100% more maximum rage. Rage. We can also grab all of the Ignite and Rage nodes conveniently in the Druid area of the tree. Now our Ignites burn much hotter as well. With all this together, we simply take to the sky and reenact Rain of Fire. Of course, we can't just fly around forever. There will be some necessary downtime between flights. Fortunately, we've got a gullet full of oil and fresh hot magma to ignite it. After the announcement last week, the green thumbs amongst us got pretty excited at the idea of watering their plants. We've got you covered. This next build automates a whole garden using spell totems. At the root of this build is the Wild Surge Incantation Keystone, which makes all storm and plant spells deal more damage and cost less resources, at the cost of losing a lot of their duration. But because we're automating this, duration isn't a huge concern. This build makes use of the new unique Falls Protector to ensure that we've always got plenty of power charges to summon our totems. After we generate our initial charges, our totems will be able to self-sustain their cost. So, if we put Entangle on a spell totem, it can build a garden for us. All we have to do is water it with a gentle little thunderstorm. One of our support gems also appreciates this downpour. Accelerated growth triggers an explosion once it's been overgrown, blinding enemies it hits. For tougher rares and bosses, you'd probably want to throw in some Thrashing Vines to ensure a true plantastrophe, bodily botany, chlorophyll overkill. But maybe you're not into gardens and more into tearing them up with an army of dog friends. This Wolfpack build is a good place to start. In order to support an army of minions, you can take the Lord of the Wild's Keystone to allow you to use a scepter alongside your animal talisman. This will buff your minions and provide a respectable pack of 8 wolf friends. But we can get this number even higher. As we pounce around the map, our damage is enough to shred our foes and attract more wolves to the pack. But what's the point of this build if we're not howling? Lunar Assault helps us clear and freeze enemies and buff our wolves for even more damage. This build also makes use of Rage in a few ways. Notably, it uses Commanding Rage to make your rage affect your wolves. Rage also extends the duration of Lunar Blessing, a skill that gives the entire pack more cold damage and creates destructive moonbeams each time we hit. Lastly, let's warm things back up with the Demon Bear. Here, we're using Fury of the King to transform into a burning monstrosity. With this, we can open molten fissures everywhere we jump. Once opened, we've got a few options to make them erupt again and again. We could use a Shockwave Totem, which repeatedly blasts the ground. And of course we're still a bear, so we can rampage around, triggering the fishes over and over. To capitalize on this, we're going to want to extend our rampage as long as we can. Once we are as angry as we can be, our rampage can last around 20 seconds. That's a lot of pounding. Just like the Wyvern build from earlier, we're going to make use of the Primal Hunger Keystone and the Eternal Rage buff gem. That's how the build plays, but to me the best part of this build is the Oracle Ascendancy. Look at this passive tree, it's just as cooked as our bear. We've done something very fun here, grabbing as many keystones as possible and using them to take some of the bigger nodes without the lead-ups. We've taken Resolute Technique, so we don't crit, which allows us to take Pain Attunement, so we don't see the upside or the downside. There's more going on, but we'll let you figure it out for yourself. As you can see, the Druid offers a lot of options. Whether you're tearing through maps with storms, scorching everything from the sky, unleashing botanical devastation, leading a loyal wolfpack, or rampaging across Rayclast as a spicy bear, there's a build here for every kind of primal playstyle. These are just a handful of ideas to get you started. The last of the Druids launches on 11 AM December 12th PST. We can't wait to see what you come up with.